And hello there, friends. I'd like to speak a little bit about inspiration. Not from the inside this time, but inspiration when we encounter it on the outside. Inspiration particularly in the form of people doing something that inspires us. And how it can lead to wonderful results and how it can sometimes backfire. And it can be good to notice the difference and perhaps approach it a little bit differently depending on what's happening for you. Number one, the ideal thing that happens with inspiration is we're feeling a little stuck in some way ourselves, or we could be doing more and we sort of know it inside, not from a we should from the outside world, but we just sort of know it, like there's something more I can do, personal life, work life, whatever. And suddenly we spot someone doing it or doing something very like it, and it can be very motivating, this form of inspiration. Or it could give us ideas, like maybe I could do it a bit like that person, or that's a good way to do it. Or it has nothing to do with what we're doing, but we just are motivated, we're galvanized by someone else getting off, up off their proverbial butt and doing something, and we think, yeah. So it gets us at just the right time where we're able to perhaps act on it. And so we don't feel helpless, we don't feel trapped, and the inspiration has a mobilizing effect. However, inspiration can hit us at not the right time as well, and it can have quite a different effect. It can demotivate us. Let's take an example of that. Like if I'm stuck in some way that I can't get out of, either due to something inside myself or my external circumstances, my world isn't allowing me to do something that I feel called to do, that I want to do, that I dream of doing. When I encounter someone doing it or doing something like it, what can I feel, right? And you can fill in the blanks here. I'm sure you've had that experience. Certainly I have. It can feel like jealousy, it can feel like envy, and maybe there's a touch of envy in the opposite example too, but it's like a sort of healthy envy, if that's possible, and that it motivates us. Yeah, I want what they have and I can do it, so here I go, watch me. But in this case, it kind of turns inwards, and it can turn kind of nasty, where there's a jealousy or an envy, or it's not that, but just a deep disappointment in oneself or one's circumstances. It can be deflating. Perhaps we were having a pretty good day before that, and all of a sudden we spot this person doing something amazing, and we're just like, shit, and it's not mobilizing. It is the opposite. And here is something that I think can help in some circumstances. Obviously, this is just a short video, and one could make a year-long program to help with this. But just one thing that can help is can we do anything about the trapped feeling? Because if we can get just the tiniest little bit of leverage on the trapped feeling, if there's some tiny change we could make in our external circumstances, if there's some little wedge of light we could open up in our minds as to the possibilities for us, if we can just find a little, I think of the image of if you're in a completely dark room, like pitch black, no light at all, and maybe you don't even know where you are in the room. It's a big room, completely disoriented, and perhaps you've been stuck there a long time, so you're feeling, stuck. Vocabulary is not coming easy to me right now. And all of a sudden, someone cracks open a door on the far side of the room, just a little bit, and this line of light fires into the room and fires right across the room, and all of a sudden, everything makes sense. Just the tiniest bit of light, there's the door, here's how I get to it. All of a sudden, the world starts to make sense again. If we can somehow find the equivalent of that in our own lives, then we can turn that inspiration that went sort of badly on us into something where we search for the wedge of light. And if we can find that, then there's hope again. And when there's hope, the mobilizing forces inside us can then get to work. They're not turned inward on themselves anymore. I'm curious what you might think of this. Do you have any reactions to it? Have you experienced either kind? Is there a different kind that I haven't thought to mention? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. because yes, I think that inspiration is often wielded as a tool in the world by others, and often it means well. I do as well. I'm trying to share things that inspire others, but I recognize that sometimes it can backfire. And I would love to know what you think of that, or if you have found some way to work with this, if you've been in this position before. So, see what you think. Alex from the Big Dream Program. We'll talk to you around the next bend in the river. Take care. Bye.